Hi there and welcome to the Qcad training video. This video is using Qcad version 3.4.6 as the vehicle for the training media. Here's an excerpt from the drystack.com website explaining why you don't need the current version of Qcad as long as you have version 3. Basically, if you read these two paragraphs, they tell you that the versions after 3.28 simply add additional tools, which basically combines other tools into one easy step. So they improve the capability of operating a system if you use it all the time. That's the only difference. The basic tools are always there no matter which version you're in. So that's why you don't need the latest version to do this course. When you first start up Qcad, it's going to go to whatever it was last saved as. In other words, there's a configuration file, and if you change the configuration settings, then it will always honor those new settings. So I've mucked around with this. I've changed the default settings, and then if you're like me, you probably played with your version and changed some of the default settings also. So in order for this training course to be effective, we need to have the same screen on both your computer and my computer. So let's make that happen. So first we'll close the existing Qcad. These instructions are for Windows 7. If you have a different operating system, then you have to find your own way to do this. But on Windows 7, if you click on your local disk, then you click on the users, then you click on your username, click on application data, click on roaming, and go down here and find Qcad. You will find a Qcadv3.ini. That is a configuration setting file for Qcad version 3. This is the file it uses every time it starts up. So what we're going to do, we're going to right click and delete this thing. You can delete it with your system if you have a different operating system. You can search for it, find it, and delete it. Notice it's 22 kbytes. And now that I've deleted it, I can close my file exploring program. I'll go back and restart Qcad again. Notice now we get the first start screen. I want you to get to that point. We'll use inches. We're going to use custom for default paper size, and these two stay the same. Click OK. At this point, we both have the same screen. Mine's a lot smaller than yours, most likely. But you notice this property editor is separate from the Qcad screen. So what I want to do, I want to first of all delete this layerless screen. We won't use that much in the beginning, so just click the X, it deletes it. Next I want to take the property editor, I want to bring it over here, and I want to slip it in right here beside the drawing screen. That's called docking a list. We have now docked this list. We're going to make the display full screen. Now I have a property editor that's docked over here on the right hand side. The property editor can be resized right here to give you more screen area if you want it. I usually will make it just enough to read all the words involved in the display. And that's how we place the property editor over here in a docked position. The next thing I want to do is fix the command line window. It's too big. So we click this little box over here. It gives us a command line status bar at the top. And I can just left click and drag it up here. If you notice, if I put it to the left, then it puts the command line above the property editor. If I grab the command line and pull it to the right, then it puts it in a tab. Now the command line is the top tab, the property editor is the second tab. That's how you dock additional listings. Over here on the right, you notice this is highlighted and this one up here is highlighted. Property editor is highlighted. The command line is highlighted. That's because they're both visible on the screen. We can make it invisible by clicking that, it just went away. Click it again, it comes back. Command line comes back. Command line goes away from the docking station. Now if you notice, when the command line is gone, I can make this docking area much smaller. But whenever I reveal the command line back into the docking area, it forces a minimum docking area width, and you can't make it any smaller. You can make it larger, you can't make it any smaller. So the software itself determines the minimum width of the command line editor, command line listing, when it's in the docked area. The Qcad display window is configured the way it will be used for the first lesson. And you need to get yours configured so that you can see the same display window on your computer.